Hello everybody, this is Nurse Holly. I'm glad to be able to be here with you today to share a favorite book of mine. Today I'm going to be reading Skippyjon Jones by Judy Schachner. This is one of my kids' favorite books, and whenever I ask them what book should I read them, this is always what they request. So I hope you enjoy Skippyjon Jones. Every morning, Skippyjon Jones woke up with the birds. And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here right now, Mr. Kitten Britches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds," she scolded, "or ate worms, or flew, or did his laundry in Miss Doohiggy's bird bath." The lecture went on and on as usual. "You've got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," said his mother, "about just what it means to be a cat. Not a bird, not a mouse or a grouse, not a moose or a goose, not a rat or a bat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat. And just stay out of your closet," she added, closing the bedroom door. But once he was all alone, Skippyjon Jones began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones and I bounce on my bed, and at once or 6 times I land on my head." On his way down to earth from a gigantic big bounce, Skippyjon Jones shot past his bedroom mirror. "Holy guacamole!" exclaimed Skippyjon Jones. "What was that?" So up he went again, and again it appeared. Then, using his very best Spanish accent, he said, "My ears are too big for my head. My head is too big for my body. I am not a Siamese cat. I am a Chihuahua." Back on land, Skippyjon Jones climbed into his toy box and rifled through some of his old junk. After he put on his mask and soared and climbed onto his mouse, Skippyjon Jones began to sing in a muy soft voice. "My name is Skippito Friskido. I fear not a single bandito. My manners are mellow, I'm sweet like the jello. I get the job done, yes indeed-o." Back in the kitchen, Jujubee, Jezebel, and Jillyboo Jones were helping Mama Junebug Jones make lunch. "Can Skippyjon come out of his room now?" said Jujubee. "No," answered Mama Junebug Jones. "Mr. Fluffernutter is still thinking." In fact, Skippyjon wasn't thinking about being a Siamese cat at all. With a walk into his closet, his thoughts took him down a lonesome desert road, far, far away in old Mexico. Not long into his journey, a mysterioso band of Chihuahuas appeared out of the dust. "Ay, caramba! Who goes there?" asked Skippyjon Jones. "We go by the name of Los Chimichangos," growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Who are you?" "I am El Skippito, the great sword fighter," said Skippyjon Jones. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. "Why the mosquito, dude?" said Paquito Tuto. "I go incognito," said Skippito. "Do you like rice and beans?" asked Pintorito. "See, I love my and beans, said Skippyjon. He might be the dog of our dreams, whispered Rosalita. Perhaps, said Tia Mia, if he knows the secret password. Leaning toward Don Diego, El Skippyjon half sneezed, half spoke the secret word into the Chihuahua's very large ear. Chupipachu! Oh, bless you, said Don Diego. Gracias, said Skippyjon. Then it is true, declared Don Diego. Yippee, yippito! It's the end of Alfredo Bazito! Skippyjon is here, we have nothing to fear. Adios to the bad Bumbalito. Then all of the chimichangos went extra crazy loco. First, they had a fiesta. Then they took a siesta. But after waking up, the chimichangos got down to serious business. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture in the sand of the great Bumbalito for Skippyjon to see. A hush grew over the chimichangos, so great that one could hear a whisker drop. Alfred Bazito, whispered the crowd. El blimpo bombabito bandito. See, said Paquito Tito, the bandito steals our frijoles. Not your beans, cried Skippyjon outraged. See, Skippyjon continued, red beans, black beans, Boston baked and blue, cocoa, coffee, kidney beans, pinto and jelly too. And now he has come for us, Paquito Tito added. ¿Por qué? asked Skippyjon. Because we are full of the beans too. Then Don Diego stood tall and in his most somber voice declared, Yo quiero frijoles. Huh? asked Skippyjon. The dude just wants his beans back, said Paquito Tito. And you are the dog for the job. Me? said Skippyjon. Then all of the chimichangos turned towards Skippyjon, the great sword fighter. But poor Skippyjon had no time for a plan, because in the blink of an eye, a gigantic shadow darkened the landscape. The chimichangos scattered in all directions. Vámonos, Skippyjon, or it is you, the bandito will eat you, they cried. Skippyjon stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like the jello, and his teeth chattered like the castanets. In an muy soft voice, he said, My name is Skippyjon Frisquito. I fear not a single bandito. But Alfred Bazito flew straight for Skippyjon until the bean-eating bandito hovered only inches away from the great sword fighter's face. Holy frijoles! cried Skippyjon as he thrust his sword into the air. Suddenly, pop! went the bandito, landing on Skippyjon's sword, and quicker than one could say Chihuahuas, cheese, and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out of Alfred Bazito, the Bumbalito bandito. Ooh. Then all the doggies burst into song. Yip, yip, yippito, our hero is El Skippyjon. He's the dog of our dreams who delivered the beans, and now we can make our burritos. Burritos sound good right now, don't they? But back at home, there was such a ruckus coming from Skippyjon's room that Mama Junebug Jones and the girls just had to find out what was going on. They raced under the hall to the kitty boy's room. Banguito, Crashito, Papito, Skippyjon! Just in time to see Skippyjon's closet exploding. Then out flew Candy, Beanbag Daggies, and the kitty boy with his birthday piñata on his head. Skippyjon Jones! Everyone cried. Hola, muchachitas, he said in a muy soft voice. Mama Junebug Jones lifted up Skippyjon and covered his head with furry, purry kisses. What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cocoa Pugs? She scolded. That night, when he was supposed to be going to sleep, Skippyjon began to bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones with a mind of my own. I'll bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that. Say goodnight, Skippyjon Jones, called his mama. Buenos noches, mis amigos, said Skippyjon Jones. Have a wonderful day.